name is. But they're supposed to tell you who they are, and write, if you can, record the conversation and write down, exactly what was said as much as you can. Exactly what was said and as much as you can. So when they start asking you, they got to tell you what their name is. They got to tell you who they work for. They cannot lie like they work for the police. They cannot lie like they work for a court. They cannot lie like they're the actual creditor when they're not the creditor. All of that is unfair practices, deceptive practices. So that's why you have to keep track and write down everything that was said during the phone call. So if they start to ask you what's your address and what's your date of birth and social security number, you don't give them that information. First of all, once they ask you who you are, you say I'm Quad, and then they go to telling you who they are. If they don't tell you, you control the conversation and you ask them, who are you? What company you work for? So when they tell you that, and when they when they tell you that information, then you turn around and say, well, this is not a good time for me right now. Now, some people really do want to know what they're calling for, but never agree to make a payment, never agree to a payment arrangement, because what you're doing when you do that, and never admit that the debt is yours. Don't say, yeah, it's mine. You may owed Capital One. That's the creditor, but you don't owe LVNV, the debt collector. Okay, so never admit that the debt is yours, because 9 times out of 10 they got transactions from the creditor, but they don't have all of the information. That's why we say always send a validation of debt notice to these companies, because they can't validate the debt. They're a third-party debt collector. They may own the debt because they purchased it, but there are certain things inside of that purchase agreement